great divisional rivalries in the NFL. This is the first of 2 games between these teams this year, and you know it's going to be entertaining. It's the Dolphins going up against the Jets. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Miami Dolphins. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by their 6-year quarterback out of Texas A&M, and that's Ryan Tannehill.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The numbers for Williams a week ago: 17 carries, 59 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills, and it's 3rd and 4. A look now at the Miami offense.
I know we don't like to get totally bogged down in numbers, but Miami was 24th in offense in 2016. Should not have been a surprise, though. Brand new coaching staff, brand new offense. Took a little while to get going, but by the end of the year, they were starting to look like a really potent attack.
Back to throw, Tannehill. And he finds Julius Thomas. And he'll be down deep into Jet territory. It's a big play for the Dolphins here on 3rd down. 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
From the red zone now, Tannehill. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Jenkins. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is when we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Now a run. This is Bilal Powell. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
This is the running back, Powell. A big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 33. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Again, it's Powell. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th.
It's almost gotten to the point in the NFL where 3rd down is a throwing down, no matter what the distance. It just feels that way. So how about the discipline there by the defense? Understanding, reading their keys. They run the ball on 3rd down. They don't just handle it with technique and stay at home, but they become disruptors, actually getting back there, making a big play, big loss, and now they flip the balance of the field for their team.
And an update from up in Foxborough. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. Deshaun Watson, an early touchdown pass in that one. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And a look now at how the Jets line up defensively.
As the Jets evaluated their defense in the offseason, I think they thought that they had to have a fresh start on the back end. And at number 6, the number 6 overall pick, Jamal Adams was there and available out of LSU. Had to go get him. Can cover deep, drop in the box and make plays. He's a big-time player with a great attitude.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. Tannehill on 3rd down. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. And we will return to MetLife Stadium after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. They go play action here on first down. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
And Devontae Parker was one of 3 Miami receivers to go over 700 yards last year, along with Jarvis Landry and Kenny Stills. But I do know this. They'd love to have one of them emerge and be that 1,000-yard guy and take the pressure off of everyone else.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Again, it's Williams. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Demario Davis able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And he missed it. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
A reminder coming up in the Sunday night game, matchup you don't see very often, a rematch of Super Bowl 18. The Raiders traveling to Washington. And then tomorrow on Monday night, we'll see the Cowboys heading to the desert to take on the Cardinals.
Former NFC East rivals. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Third down. That's Powell. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
McCown going to throw, and he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Byron Maxwell. And he's got some space here. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. New York set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring and moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
McCown going to hand this one off to Powell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something that broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right?
It's got to be good.
You tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They go again with Powell. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Bilal Powell held up short of the line to gain. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play. The exact right.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Quincy Enunwa, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets have made this a 1-score game. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They run it again with Williams. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. On the return, it's Jalen Marshall. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And an update from up in Foxborough. The Patriots, they're out to an early lead. Tom Brady with 2 first-half touchdown passes. They start the drive with a give to Powell. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he's got a noon one. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Enunwa was the Jets' second leading receiver last year, had 58 catches, only 1 behind Brandon Marshall, who, of course, with the Giants now.
A breakout season for him, a big-bodied guy. Many thought that he's more restricted to moving the chains. Had an ability to get downfield and make big catches as well.
Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
They run with Powell. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. While the traders take a look, we'll step aside. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now.
McCown looking to throw. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
McCown to throw on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT.
Spent 3 years as the kicker for the Arizona Cardinals. Now in New York on the big stage, kicking for the Jets.
2015, he was great. 28 of 31 on field goals last year. 21 of 28 trying to rebound.
And you remember, it was a season opener, a chance to beat the New England Patriots where he missed a makeable field goal. And I think that knocked him off the rails for the rest of that season.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On second down, Williams. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And it's caught by Parker. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing.
Face mask. Defense.
Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. Going to throw deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
That's caught. It's Thomas. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. So the offense has it, 6-yard line, 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And that is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And Frank's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On first down, McCown finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
10 yards still left on second down. Again, it's McCown. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now McCown got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Then the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. On play action, it's McCown. And, oh, a a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Turnover differential last year in the NFL, the bottom 5 teams you'd expect. Rams, Browns, the Jags, the Bears, and the Jets. Tied at -20. These Jets, they have to solve that QB situation.
They, along with the other teams that you noted, they've got to get better play in that area because no team goes to the playoffs -20 in turnover differential.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. On the counter, here's Williams. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Dolphins, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say...